The date was February 5, 1958, at the height of the Cold War. The B-47E Stratojet bomber, a 6-engine intercontinental range aircraft, was on a simulated night combat mission, departing from Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. Such missions often simulated nuclear attacks against the United States to test the readiness of air defenses. The bomber carried a single Mark 15 thermonuclear bomb weighing 3,400 kilograms. This was the first relatively light and compact thermonuclear bomb, or hydrogen bomb, of the United States. Its maximum detonation power could be in megatons. Around 2 o'clock in the morning, over Tybee Island at the Georgia Stadium, the B-47, piloted by Major Howard Richardson, collided with an F-86 Sabre jet fighter, which was on an equally simulated interception mission. After the collision, the F-86 fighter crashed and the pilot ejected safely. However, the B-47 was severely damaged and became uncontrollable, rapidly losing altitude from 38,000 feet down to 20,000 feet, where the commander regained control of the aircraft. The pilot realized that attempting any emergency landing with the weight of the bomb on board would be too risky, and it could end in an uncontrolled conventional explosion, which could devastate the populated area of Savannah. So the crew asked for permission to drop the bomb in order to make the plane lighter. Permission was given and the bomb was dropped from around 7,200 feet, about 11 kilometers from Tybee Island's coast. The crew saw no explosion when the weapon hit the sea. The B-47 managed to land successfully at Hunter Air Force Base, and searches for the bomb were quickly started. The Air Force Explosive Ordnance Disposal Squadron and 100 Navy divers, equipped with portable sonar and other equipment, began an intense search operation for the device. The operation lasted 10 weeks and spanned 8 square kilometers, but the bomb was never found. The Air Force declared it irretrievably lost. In other words, the bomb was considered unrecoverable and is probably buried under meters of mud and sand at the bottom of Wassaw Sound. This was another accident classified as a broken arrow. Broken arrow. That is, an accident involving nuclear weapons such as loss, theft, or unintentional detonation, which poses no nuclear war risk. Dozens of these events have occurred since 1950, often involving bomber crashes, mid-air collisions, or missile accidents during the Cold War. Worst of all, in some broken arrow incidents, the bombs remain lost to this day, lost at the bottom of the sea, in the jungle, or in other places, potentially spreading radioactive material and contaminating vast areas of land. And that's the case with the Mark 15 bomb lost by the B-47, which is buried a few meters under the seabed, potentially spreading radioactive material. Some sources describe the bomb as a functional nuclear weapon, while others consider it deactivated. If it had a plutonium nuclear core, it would be a fully functional weapon. If it had a simulated core, it would be incapable of generating a nuclear explosion, but it could still produce a conventional explosion. The Air Force states that the nuclear capsule, or physics package, used to initiate the nuclear reaction was removed before the flight aboard the B-47. As noted in Form AL 569, temporary custodian receipt for maneuvers from the Atomic Energy Commission, signed by the aircraft commander, the bomb contained a simulated capsule weighing 68 kilograms made of lead. However, according to the 1966 testimony of Deputy Secretary of Defense W.J. Howard before Congress, the Tybee bomb was, quote, a complete weapon, a bomb with a nuclear capsule, unquote, and one of the 2 missing weapons with a plutonium detonator. Even so, a study of the Strategic Air Command documents indicates that the Alert Force's test flights in February 1958 with the older Mark 15 payloads they were not authorized to fly with nuclear capsules on board. Such approval would only be granted when the safer weapons with sealed core nuclear capsules began to be deployed in June 1958. But regardless of whether the weapon contained a plutonium core or not, the fact is that when it comes to a thermonuclear bomb, the weapon had conventional explosives like Research Department explosive and trinitrotoluene arranged in precise shapes, the so-called explosive lenses. The weapon also had a uranium-235 core as part of its primary detonation stage. These explode first, creating extremely high temperature and pressure that compress the plutonium core, which is the secondary stage. In other words, the weapon did not contain a plutonium core, which is the second stage, but it had a uranium core, which is the first stage, which is indeed a highly radioactive material. Subsequent searches, carried out in 2004 by the United States Air Force, detected radioactive particles at levels 4 times higher than those found naturally. A nuclear weapons advisor from the Air Force speculated that the source of the radiation was natural, from monazite deposits, a local radioactive mineral. In 2007, no increased radiation was found in the estimated bomb impact area either. The Air Force classifies the risk of contamination as low and recovery as nearly impossible due to the scattering. So it neither conducts regular monitoring nor designates the area as restricted access. And to this day, there is a semi-complete atomic bomb lost at the bottom of the sea near Tybee Island.